What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Showdown breakdown. Where my turds at? And we got lots of turds tonight. The Broncos at the Browns. 41-point total. 2-point spread. Shartnado alert. Let's do this. All right, we're back with the Showdown breakdown. My name is Kevin Allen, aka the Geek from DFS Army, and I've got my man with me, Bobbywow, aka Bobby Millions, aka Bobby Ducats, to break down the showdown tonight. The turd explosion, as we say, between the Browns, the ironically named Browns and Broncos. So many injuries. I don't even know where to start, Bobby. Give me a breakdown of what is going on in this game tonight. Injuries.
Gosh, it's such an ugly game on paper. But the good news is oftentimes those are the most beautiful games to play DFS for. So it's wild. I mean, you've got injuries on both sides. The Browns, obviously, they're without their quarterback. They're without both their running backs, Chubb and Hunt. Might be without Odell Beckham as well. It's looking like he's probably not going to play now. And then on the other side of the ball, you've got a Teddy Bridgewater who's nursing both a foot and a leg injury, in a running back situation that's a direct split. So there's going to be a lot of different ways to play this game. And then on top of that, it's a dreary, rainy, windy day in Cleveland. So lots of different angles to take. And I know we're going to discuss all of them right here. I can't wait.
To make matters worse, that's right. It's like rainy, it's windy. Like, what is going on here? You know, before the show started, I was making some lineups on FanDuel, just messing with it. And I couldn't spend, like, you actually can't spend the salary cap. Like, there's no combination that gets you to spending it all. So, like, that is very, very unusual. You can spend everything on DraftKings, but you got to make an effort to do it. Like, it's really hard. So it's going to be interesting how to treat this game. Before we get into the game breakdown, though, you know, Bobbywow, it is NBA season time. And I want to throw out some props to my man, Senzomatic, for taking down last night's 100K fadeaway. And it's a reminder that DFS Army is going strong for NBA. We crushed the first two nights of NBA already. So excited, man. Profitable nights for me, both nights, 2 nights in a row. Let's keep it going. If you guys are not signed up as DFS Army VIPs by now, I don't know what you're waiting for, but it's a good time. You waited and you did good because we've got the promo for NBA going for new members only. Promo code TIPOFF right down here on the bottom of the screen. Where is it? Let's see if I can get there. Yeah, right down there on the bottom of the screen. TIPOFF. Get 50% off your first month of DFS Army VIP membership.
That's
Take
big.
$69.99. I love the $69. You know, I'm not changing $69. Take it down to $35. Full month of DFS Army VIP. What are you, crazy? All sports? Pretty good stuff. So you get all these tools, all the stuff. Bobbywow cheat sheets for every showdown. NBA, the coverage for NBA. I should almost show it on screen. The coverage for NBA is insane. Let me show all these tools for NBA we have going on. I mean, it's like, I can't show it on this screen. Look at all these NBA tools. Odds, cheat sheet, research section, sim model, chalkboard, pivot tool, super drive. If you saw our cheat sheets, there are core 4. There's 8x picks. There's cash game plays. It's crazy. It's a lot going on.
It's so good. And I know virtually nothing about NBA, but it's made a better NBA player out of someone like myself too. So if that's possible, anything is possible with these tools.
We added 2 of the sharpest DFS Army NBA subscribers. So for my DFS Army people who are watching this, what you guys don't know, we've added Bob F to the NBA team. He's one of the biggest winners we've had on the team. We just added the TK Moss, another one of our biggest winners, a guy who, you know, secretly just DMs. He's like Bobbywow style, DMs me in the background. You know, like, hey, bro, I took another one down. It's like another 50K, another 25K. But I'm like, dude, you gotta work here, bro. Get on the staff. All right. That's what we do. Elevate you. You're awesome at it. You're on the staff now. So here we go. We are, man, I have a whole idea for where my turds at gear, but I've just not been able to quite bring it to life just yet.
We
I
need
need
to
a
get
little
on
help.
that.
I
That's a
need
great
to get on
idea.
it. I'm about it, my man. All right, so let's talk about tonight's game, and let's just look at both sides. There's not that much data that we can go off of, Bobbywow, but we'll just talk about what's going on with each team. So Cleveland, Case Keenum at the helm. I don't even know if it's a downgrade. Baker Mayfield doesn't do anything with the pass anyway, so I'm not even sure how different that makes the team. It's fine. You know, Case Keenum is an NFL backup quarterback, but he's a real quarterback who's played in meaningful games, and he'll be fine. Right? I think he'll be. I don't even think it affects the team all that much. Baker's not that much different, or at least lately. So Chubb and Hunt are out. In their stead, we've got D'Ernest Johnson and Demetric Felton. Now, to understand Bobbywow about these two guys, D'Ernest Johnson, and I know you and I might differ a little bit on this one. You're not as high on D'Ernest. You like Felton here. Tell me about you like Felton a little more.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how this plays out because we've talked a little bit. D'Ernest Johnson is a guy that the Browns actually like a lot, and he's had some decent experience before. He's had some solid games. And I think he's going to be first in line to get carries. If I had to guess, obviously these guys are not Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, but from what it sounds like, Johnson will play more of the Chubb role, so he'll get more of the carries. Felton will play more of the pass catching role. And actually, that's kind of how he slotted in last week as well. He came in more as a pass catcher. Both guys played 12 snaps last week, which I also found kind of interesting. But that seems to be what the split's going to look like. So I think with Johnson, I think he's by far the safer play. I mean, his salary is super cheap. He should get 12 to 15 carries or so. And again, it's going to be a sloppy game. So he's the safe play. He's got a great floor, and I think he's fine. I think there's some upside to Felton that might be lacking with Johnson in tournaments, especially on DraftKings. And, aside from just the full point PPR, if he does get involved in the pass game, I think the leverage opportunity ownership wise is going to be really, really big. So I think Johnson's a great play. I just like Felton for leverage and upside.
All right, so let's clarify a little bit to that because I agree with you. Felton is a nice leverage play. He's gonna get some snaps, but just to clarify, Felton is very small. He's not the size of an NFL running back, so he really will be playing that pass catcher role. One of the challenges in this game is just that salary is irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Like on both FanDuel and DraftKings, what we're probably going to need the 5 or 6 highest point total guys this week. So as we're making our lineup decisions, this idea of worrying about like, how DJ Dallas was my play a couple weeks ago or like a couple days ago, and he goes off right at the end and he was like $600 and he got like 8 fantasy points and that was the nuts, right? That's great when you needed the salary, but 8 fantasy points doesn't necessarily win you a tournament when salary is irrelevant. So it's one of those things where we need touchdown scorers. So keep in mind as we build, and I like Felton. They don't have anybody else, but keep in mind as we're building, salary super not that relevant compared to other things this week. So you've got D'Ernest Johnson and guys in the chat. If you can look up the size of Felton for me and just post it in the chat, that'd be really helpful because I have a memory of him being small, but I didn't actually look up his metrics. So if one of you guys in the chat can look up his metrics real quick, and drop it in there, I'm really curious to know exactly how big he is. We know D'Ernest Johnson, though. I've seen him. I don't know if he started a game, but he got 13, 14 carries once in his career that I can recall, and he had just perfectly fine production. Yeah, Alex is saying 5'9". Give me a weight, though, my man. Give me the weight. 5'9" is small height, so low in stature, but I want to get the weight as well.
Yeah, I think
you saw what just happened on the screen.
It's like 189. Yeah, I think too, just to that point, real quick, talked about salary. A lot of people mentioned that the Browns elevated John Kelly as the third running back. I don't have any interest. I mean, he's min price turd. I would have interest on a different type of slate.
Yeah, you don't need
I
him.
just don't see him scoring anything. So he's not even a turd to me. He's not even worth playing. The other piece to just consider is that the Denver Broncos run defense is very, very good. So I would not be surprised if the Browns are forced to pass more than they would like, which could phase Johnson out a little bit more. Again, not trying to say Felton's a better play. I think we've covered that, but just something to consider as you're building your lineups.
Absolutely. All right. So continuing through the team here on the Brown side at wide receiver, Odell Beckham, we are playing this game as if he's not going to play. In other words, I'm approaching the slate as of right now as if Odell Beckham will not be in. We don't have that news. As you can see, it's a Q tag. We haven't found out, but he hasn't practiced all week. And the word has been on the side of doubtful rather than questionable. So I'm going with the assumption that Odell is out. After Odell, you've got Jarvis Landry returning from a long-term injury. We'll see what's up with that. Always a little tricky. Oh my God, A Schwizzles, man. A Schwizzles. Maybe. But you got Landry coming back. Then you got Donovan Peoples-Jones, the People's wide receiver, as they like to call him. He had a great week last week. My goodness, $1 million Millie Maker winner had Donovan Peoples-Jones in that lineup last week. Pretty good stuff. But I guess he can go off. He's going to be the main guy, I guess. I mean, it's pretty weird, but Donovan Peoples-Jones, pretty much the primary wide receiver with Jarvis Landry working his way back from an injury, unknown sort of quantity. We've seen David Njoku take over a game at one point this season as well. Man, it's so fucking bizarre with this team. A guy who does nothing all season and all of a sudden he pops for 30. Why do the Browns keep producing a Millie Maker winner scorer that's random every week? What is
frustrating?
This? Oh, DeErnest or Tim Patrick for tonight, full PPR. Man, I think you got to go DeErnest. I'm going DeErnest with that one.
I think we'll pray for your team if those are your options.
It's not a good option, but it's listen, it is what do you call it? Bye week blues from a fantasy football people. So you got to go with what you got. I hope you got DeErnest Johnson on waivers. All right, continuing down the list, we talked about Njoku. Hooper has been a bit of an afterthought for the most part this season. Really hard to see him doing a whole lot here, but once again, he's a turd. He's basically a turd that you could play. Rashad Higgins and Anthony Schwartz. My boy, Anthony Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you. You know what that's from?
Spaceballs. Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Nice.
Okay.
Yes. That's good. It's good that you knew it. I mean, Schwartz hasn't had a good game so far in his career, but that doesn't mean he never will. He's not doing much, right? He's a rookie. Not a highly touted rookie, in my opinion. And then Rashad Higgins, he could pop off at any time as well. So turds everywhere. It's a Shartnado explosion, as we said, man. There so many turds, all the monies. It's crazy. It's legitimately crazy what's going on here. I think the kickers are really viable in this game. So I'm going to mention the kicker. I don't know. I guess it's McLaughlin.
Yes. McLaughlin.
Right? The McLaughlin group. A kicker. Is he the one who's starting? I try not to remember kicker names. And then yes, is Denver D? Hell yeah. All the defenses are in play, guys. Both defense. This could be the first game ever that double defense, double kicker is like the best lineup that you could produce. Both of them. All of them. Kickers, defenses. It's a disaster. Now, let's not go crazy. We're going to talk about the Denver side. Denver is a little bit healthier, Bobbywow.
They are.
Yeah, Denver's pretty much okay. So let's get into the Denver side of it. Teddy Bridgewater, going to play. Two guys who have been great in recent weeks with Teddy KGB. Cortland Sutton and Noah Fant. Noah Fant, check out this production last week. 11 targets, like 24. He's a candidate to be your captain.
Absolutely.
Who are your captain? You got to have Fant on the list. Cortland Sutton definitely on the list. Cortland Sutton can pop off at any time. 14 targets, 11. Cortland Sutton has benefited from the injury to Jerry Jeudy. A lot of those targets are going Cortland Sutton's way. So I am down with Cortland Sutton. I don't know, Bobbywow, is he your favorite on the slate?
I think he's the most obvious play on paper. Absolutely. His ceiling super high, his floor super high. Hard not to like him.
Yeah, and SB's got it. Tim Patrick's fine too. He's more of the possession guy, but he's popped off on occasion as well for a decent game. Rarely the guy who's going to get you the 20 plus, but on a slate like this, Tim Patrick's 14, 15 potential fantasy points are definitely in play. At running back for Denver, you have the two-headed disaster that is Gordon and Jamal Williams. Any preference there?
It's tough. I mean, it's legitimately, you can dig into the numbers all you want. It's a 50-50 split, both with rushes, with snaps, and also with even with like pass catching. So I personally like Javonte Williams slightly better. If there's a coin flip or if I have to make a decision, it's Williams. I think he's the more explosive back. He's the bigger playmaker. But I think you got to have one of those guys in the lineup tonight. One of them's going to score and be in the nuts.
Maybe both of them. Maybe neither. Could go any number of ways. I have no idea. It could go any number of ways. It's hard for either one of these guys. Melvin Gordon has a slightly better nose for the end zone throughout his career. If that even means anything. Does that mean anything? He's got a nose for the end zone.
I don't think so, man. I mean, even the red zone carries have been pretty similar. Gordon has one more touchdown, but it's 2-1. So, I mean, yeah, I guess in prior years he has, but I don't know that it means much for tonight.
I don't love playing both in a lineup. I don't love it. Can you? Yes. Do I love it? No.
Silly for the Millie. Yeah.
I mean, the Browns still have a very good defense. Like, their defense didn't fall apart because half of their offense is injured. They still play defense really well. So yeah. I don't know if it's going to be like gashing and smashing for Gordon Williams. It's hard for both of them to really hit together in the same game. Continue down the list. Obviously, the kicker is great. The kicker's fine. Broncos defense, I'm down. I'm down with it. I'm good with that. And nice thing about the Browns is they don't have that many other people that they're throwing to. Who's the backup wide receiver for this team after the top two? Who's like the slot man?
Kendall Hinton.
Yeah, he's nothing to worry about. So we don't really need that. He's been producing. Is this the nuts play? Is this the super turd for all the monies?
It certainly could be.
Kendall Hinton. No one's optimizer is going to plug Kendall Hinton into a lineup because there's so much salary left over that the turds are going to get overlooked, right? Let me show you something, Bobbywow. Like when you start making a lineup, these turds are going to be overlooked. You could just make one and it doesn't require that much, difficulty. Even when you start with Cortland Sutton, you're like, okay, I'm going to play the best guy. Cortland Sutton, fine. I'm going to pay the most expensive, which we never like to do. Then you throw Bridgewater in there. You can already start to get some pretty good names down here, like Rashard Higgins is there. Demerick, Ernest Johnson, of course, we want to play some of that. The people's champ over here, you can get him in there. But, you get Rashard Higgins. You get who are we really stretching for here? Case Keenum, Noah Fant. I mean, you can do a lot here without having to stretch too far. So I don't know how much Hinton people are going to get to when it's just not really needed. Yeah. Oh, okay, there you go. So Dom Station is kicking him in a little bit. That's about 8 to 10%. Or 19 would be about 12, 13%. So there you go. Yeah,
a couple people mentioning John Brown. He actually made my notes. He was activated last week. I think he got like a snap or two, and he was activated again for tonight. So total turd punt. Again, I don't know that you have to get there, but I guess you could play him in a silly for the Millie lineup.
There we go. So let's jump over to the Bobbywow cheat sheet for tonight's NFL slate. And of course, these are the MVP candidate, the captain candidates, and there are a lot of them. Wow, everybody's a captain. Everybody. Even Demerick Felton. Come on, man. This is how Bobbywow took down the $500,000 when you put Ricky James in the captain spot. And we're like, what are you doing? Richie James? That's Demeric Felton. That is that level of a play.
I don't know if it's that bad, but yeah, I guess you can make the argument. Yep.
That's pretty intense. So Case Keenum, sure, why not? Teddy KGB, Bridgewater, fine. We don't love our quarterbacks that much as captains on DraftKings, but this could be a low scoring slate where some random event like Teddy Bridgewater just happened to run one in and they only scored one touchdown and kick 3 field goals. Like there is a scenario where that happens, but it's pretty slim. After that, it looks like your favorite. Tell me about Courtland Sutton. I mean, obviously that's pretty obvious, but give me some of your other favorites here. Go through the list.
Yeah, I think you gotta respect Sutton. We talked about Noah Fant earlier as definitely being captain viable. I think I'm interested to see where ownership's going to come in, but I have some big time interest in both Peoples-Jones and Jarvis Landry. Both of those guys are insanely cheap. I can't imagine they're going to be highly owned in the captain. But if the Browns decide to air it out like people sometimes do with Case Keenum, those guys could have a pretty high ceiling. So definitely some interest in both of those Browns receivers.
I think you can afford both quarterbacks, so you might as well. Like definitely in cash, I'm playing both quarterbacks. Speedway. Donovan Peoples-Jones, again, he broke the Millie Maker last week. He has proven that he has the ability to break a slate. And to add to your point, Bobbywow, it's not like they have Chubb and Hunt demanding the football in this game. So we did see with the Bears that they fed Khalil Herbert like as if he was David Montgomery. Like they didn't care. They fed that dude. So
right.
We'll see what goes on with the Browns here, but it's not like they have the two running backs to demand the football like they normally do.
Right.
They're going to be throwing more because they have to. They have no choice. That brings up to Ernest Johnson. I think he's very viable. I think he's totally viable. This is a running team. What they want to do is run the football, and they don't have a lot of other options. The other dude is 5'9" and 189 pounds. Like you can only do so much with that guy. We've seen Philip Lindsay at that size do damage in the NFL. It's not like he can't.
Tariq Cohen, Darren Sproles. I mean, yeah, there's some guys
we have definitely seen. So I am not saying anything. I'm not disparaging that, but I'm just saying like he's not the guy, the smash mouth body type that the Browns are used to allocating at the running back position. He's different. He's a different size. He's a different dynamic of a running back. So we got to be careful. And I think that means that D'Ernest Johnson might get an ungodly amount of carries in this game, like 25. Whew. We could see it. Do not count that out. That could happen. Noah Fant, definitely viable. I actually have a hard time seeing Javonte get there. And somebody's asking for DJ captain for all the monies. DJ. Yeah, I think you could do it. Some guys are asking about Landry. Is he getting all the snaps? We just don't know. He's just activated off the IR. And you're right, Jonathan, Jordan. I did hear he could have played last week, but we don't know. I would not make any crazy rules, Brandon. You don't need rules on this slate. Just like no rules, just right. Just do it. No less than one. QB with one. That's it. Don't.
The only thing with DJ for all the money is that he's going to be a lot more popular than people think. Well, he's already projected over 10% of captain.
We got 12. What's the captain projection? Hang on. Ownership. Here we go. DJ. 10%. I mean, all right. So just looking at the ownership projections here, no one's that high. It was 14 for Case, 16 for Bridgewater, 15 for Courtland Sutton, who's the best play on the board. Then you get a little bit. I mean, there's ownership everywhere, is what it comes down to. Even a little bit of Jarvis. Ben Jarvis, Green Landry. Even a little bit of that.
Callback.
You like that one? A little back to the past. All right, so in the flex, and let's talk about the turd zone here. So everybody who's a captain candidate is always a great flex candidate, as you know. I am avoiding rules today, guys. Don't make the no 2 kicker rule, because this is one of those weird ass games where kickers, maybe it's a lot of kicking. Defenses could do a lot of damage in this game. It could be low scoring. Vegas predicting just 41 fantasy, 41 at real life points. That does not mean a lot of scoring. What's Drew Lock's ownership projection? Dude, Drew Lock for real? And I'm glad you brought that up.
We're going to talk about that later because he made my sheet.
Did he make? All right, let me scroll down here because I got to see this. All right, so going down to the turd zone. I want to play the turd song so bad. What if I do it? You think we get in trouble? Think Bobby will yell at me? All right, let me just do it for a second. Hell no. All right, I'm taking it off. Wait. Let's do this one. Hell no. All right, I'm sorry. That's all I could do. I don't want to get flagged by Facebook.
My heart is full.
The bishop's estate does not allow anybody to play that song. Just let you know. All right, so where were we? Brandon McManus, kickers, defenses, all in play. Both of them. But here we go. Drew Lock. Let's talk about Drew Lock. He made the turd zone. I got to read this. I'm not advocating you go heavier and play him at all. However, Denver is not happy with the way Teddy B is playing. There's 0-3 stretch, and he's nursing a lingering foot injury. If Teddy gets pulled or injured, it wouldn't take much for Lock to hit the nuts at his price. Deep turd. Dude, it's not even about the price. It's just the ownership.
It's not anymore. Yeah.
It's just like, imagine we have Teddy Bridgewater coming into this. I know we say this shit every week, and you guys are like, you're an idiot. And then, of course, that player gets hurt. And then you're like, what are you, Nostradamus? We're not. We're just scenarios, right? But what if Q-tag Teddy Bridgewater with the foot issue gets hurt?
Yeah, what if Myles Garrett or Jadeveon Clowney or whoever rolls over on his foot and he's out? I mean, I think it's a relatively high chance compared to just a normal game.
Because he's coming in with the Q-tag, already the busted up foot, already banged up a little bit. Let's elevate the percentage chance of a Teddy Bridgewater comes out of the game 10%, maybe 15%. Like in probability?
I think closer to 15. And look, I'm not going to say they're going to make a change, but there are plenty of murmurs in Denver of people who are not happy with the way Teddy B's been playing. So if he does tweak something, I don't think they're going to be in a rush to put him back in, is what I'm saying. He could get hurt. We see quarterbacks get hurt and then come back in. I think if that happens to Teddy, it's going to be Drew Lock's team.
Yeah, that's the whole point too. That's right. But Drew Lock sucks too, guys. Let's be clear. Here, the problem with Drew Lock is he also sucks. But he does. But somebody played Geno Smith with a healthy Russell Wilson like literally last week and won $500K.
Yes.
So let's try to win $500K by doing shit like this in that crazy ass contest where you're trying to take first place out of 190,000 entries. Like you can do stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm playing D'Ernest over Javonte, guys. I like D'Ernest Johnson. I like him tonight. I think he's probably the best play on the Browns team overall. So yeah, play D'Ernest. Don't play Javonte. I love that Natasha is in here, just like giving out advice. I love it. Okay, so let's take a look at any other turds that are of interest. Do we need these level of turds? Do I need Eric Salbert? Like, let's say the tight end. And maybe I do, Bobbywow. And I need your knowledge on this. Do I need Eric Salbert? Let's say Eric Salbert catches a touchdown. It happens. It's a fake to D'Ernest Johnson. Eric Salbert's in the game, standing there wide open. Case Keenum, boop. Eric Salbert touchdown, 7 points. Is that the nuts? Are we dead if we didn't play him?
You know, I don't think so tonight. I don't think you need to go there. I think with Sobert, the one thing is Fant's injury history. I think that's why he might be a little bit more playable than the other turds. If Fant gets hurt in the first quarter, we know Teddy B loves his tight ends. He could end up scoring more than normal. But no, to your point, I really don't think you have to go there. What are the chances of someone above him, you know, of 6 people above him outscoring him? Like 99%?
No, above that. It's like
99.9.
I mean, it's got to be 99% or something like that, where there's that 1% chance of like, number one, it has to be a very low scoring game. There's like a very massive scenario of things that need to happen. No offense. No one's catching passes. Like one guy is absorbing it all. Like they're and that's not how these teams play. These are spread the football kind of, especially the Browns. They spread the football around. It's just very unlikely.
Yeah, I would say my favorite 3 DK punts are above the turd zone, and it's Kendall Hinton, who we talked about. It's Rashard Higgins, and I actually think Austin Hooper is going to have a solid game tonight.
Why? Why do you think it? Why?
He's getting the lion's share of the snaps, and I think we see Case Keenum pepper him tonight. I don't know why. It's just a gut feeling, but he's one of my favorite plays in that zone.
Okay. Listen, I'm not going to question Bobbywow lean. Who am I to question such a thing?
Oh, jeez, get out of here.
Getting right on Hooper. Been right every time almost this week, this season. I'm not okay. Write it down. Hold on. Make sure you play Hooper. It's written down. Okay, let's take a look at FanDuel, guys. I know FanDuel, wicked stepchild. That's okay. Or what is it? Wicked step parent. The stepchild is not the wicked one.
That could be.
It's the step parent that's the wicked one. A child is pure and innocent. Okay. Not all of them. FanDuel, MVP. Well, who do we like?
I think it's definitely a more condensed group. I know it doesn't look that way now, but I think
God, this is condensed. Jeez.
I think Case Keenum and Teddy B are the obvious plays, along with Dearness Johnson. And then, I mean, we talk about it all the time. Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams are going to split from each other, but running backs all the time end up outscoring wide receivers. I mean, a large majority of the time. So that's why they're on there. But I think the 2 QBs are the top plays along with Dearness Johnson. Those 3 to me are the best MVP plays.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. Let me take a look at some of these ownerships here. I just want to get it, but in my head. But yeah, Case Keenum, both quarterbacks. We love quarterbacks on FanDuel at the MVP spot. Quarterbacks on FanDuel in the scoring format tend to outscore their pass catchers. So yes, right. Every once in a while, though, we get a pass catcher who goes bananas, and Courtland Sutton is that style of pass catcher. So he's definitely in the mix. A little bit less, but in the mix. And if Courtland Sutton's in your lineup, well, let's point out Case Keenum's in your lineup no matter what. He's in every lineup, 5K. But if Courtland Sutton's in your lineup, you want Teddy KGB in there as well. So it makes it pretty easy because at that point it's Sutton, Bridgewater, Keenum, and 2 other people. Like it's not that many choices. No. There's not that many choices. You're just gonna play. Like, how do you not play Keenum? Actually, I don't even think you have to play Keenum because of how the slate breaks down, of how the salaries don't matter. But let me go back to this here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. So, if Courtland Sutton's your MVP, of course you're going to play Case Keenum. If, Noah Fant is your MVP, you got to play Teddy Bridgewater. Probably playing Teddy Bridgewater regardless of what's going on. And again, don't put 100% Teddy Bridgewater in your lineups because he could get hurt in game.
How is Case Keenum lower owned by a little bit than Teddy B? He's mint price.
I just
think that's insane.
Incorrect. I mean, my best guess is, at some point, I think people are just going to limit how much of any one player they take.
Sure.
So I think it's just like that's max. 55% flex essentially equals max.
Yep.
Especially when you consider he's going to be 25%. So it's just leveling out to 80% total exposure for both of these guys. In the end of the day, it's just 80%. This one works out slightly differently. It's a little more MVP, so a little less flex, but it's really just leveling out to exactly 80%, assuming that people won't want 100% of any player.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Someone Geek is asking about Locke and Teddy in the same lineup. Again, this is silly for the Millie.
No, I think that's too much. That's too far.
I agree. And it's not because Teddy can't get there. Even if he gets hurt, it's because Locke will need 3 quarters to put up a viable fantasy score because he hasn't been very good.
Locke is just not very good. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, the silliest for the milliest ever would have both of them, but that's not how I would rather approach it at all. So, yeah, definitely not some way that I'd want to approach that one. So, I mean, I agree with all of these MVP choices, and I also agree that it's Case and Teddy and as the most D'Ernest right up there with them. It looks like D'Ernest is going to be, let's see, MVP only 10%. I actually think he's too low at 9% MVP.
I agree.
D'Ernest to me should probably be like 15, 18%. I'm going to go close to double the field on him. I did that last week on Derrick Henry, and that was the right decision. So I'm happy I made that call. And I just think that's the right call here with D'Ernest Johnson. If Cleveland is dominating, it's going to be because this guy's having a pretty big game. I don't expect it, but he's just 2 touchdowns from him. He passes both Bridgewater. Neither Bridgewater and Keenan are that great. So, yeah, I want a little more D'Ernest. Again, I'm not on board Bobbywow, and I know you like Demeric, so I'm not disparaging that. You're right. I'm wrong more often than not. I fully admit it. But in this case, I'm having a hard time getting to Demeric Felton as an MVP at all. And FanDuel, I don't love him at the scoring system. Let me read what you wrote.
I think that's fair.
I'm going to read what you wrote because I don't want to just.
It's a lot. I made an update at the bottom.
Browns have made it clear that Johnson will be the featured back, which makes him much safer, more reliable. Oh, there you go. So, yeah, I think we get excited about Felton, but then when you really start to think about it, he's too small to get that many carries most of the time. So he's going to need some very lucky touchdown, variance to hit that. It can happen. Anything can happen. $1 million play. Let's see what the ownership project. I actually think the ownership projection is too high. If he's going to, 2%. Okay. Yeah. If you want to go crazy with it, you go 3-4%. Bobby,
I prefer him on DraftKings.
Much more better. How high are you on? How much Demeric are you going to have on DraftKings at your captain? Like
I'll be 5x, so 10 to 11%.
Yeah, 10 to 11%. That's fine.
Yep.
D'Ernest feels safe as a tuna sandwich from a gas station. You ever have gas station sushi? We subscribe to DFS Army Pro. That's how we get it. And we share with you our DFS Army inside information just for this Where My Turds At and a couple of public videos that we do. But a lot of the stuff is behind the paywall. Got to get signed up. Promo code TIPOFF gets you 15% off, 50% off your first month. Look at the scroller down below. Get in here. There's a Pizza Hut contest, bro. I don't even want it. If I want it, I don't even want the Pizza Hut. What am I going to do? Eat Pizza Hut? I'm not eating that shit. Hell no. Bobby likes the Chicago style deep dish Pizza Hut.
Yeah, that's not Pizza Hut, though. That's get out of here. It's Lou Malnati's.
You ever go to the Pizza Hut has a deep dish, Chicago style.
It's disrespectful.
Is it?
Yeah.
Extra greasy. Heart attack pizza over at Pizza Hut. All right. So looking at the flex on FanDuel, let's make a FanDuel lineup in a minute here. But anybody stand out to you? So, I mean, you could do whatever you want. So you could play whoever you want. I'm not playing these turds outside of Drew Lock. I'm playing some Drew Lock, but I mean, a lot of these guys are really, really bad. We need touchdown scores on FanDuel. So who for you are like you have Case Keenum, Teddy Bridgewater, I'd say lock him in every lineup or as many as you can. Sutton, Johnson. What's the most obvious lineup? Let's see what to do in cash here. Okay. What's the most obvious?
Both Teddy. QBs, D'Ernest, Sutton.
Yeah, you're gonna go Sutton, D'Ernest, Keenum. You want to talk about the most obvious lineup? And just figure out who you want last. Let me see. I think there's a lot of choice. Isn't this the choice? This is what we come down to. Like this guy, either Peoples-Jones, Landry, maybe, maybe Landry, maybe one of these Melvin Gordon, or Javonte Williams twins. That's it. It's these 4 plus 1.
Yeah.
How do we switch it up? All right, I'm putting Dearness Johnson in the captain spot. All right, motherfucker. You want to switch it up? I'll switch it up. Boom. Okay. Still got to play Teddy, KGB, get a couple lineups without Teddy, Q tag, get hurt. But do we think Patrick is a good play? Yeah, I mean, on this slate, it's top 5, plays, top 3 wide receivers on the slate. I mean, it's fine. Jarvis.
Yeah, I like Landry much more than Patrick, but Patrick's certainly viable.
I mean, if Landry is truly healthy and gets a full snap count, then sure, why not? So if I'd want to get like a nice little mix like this. And the other option, by the way, even in a lineup like this, is just say YOLO, put a kicker in there. Kickers can easily outscore wide receivers in this format. So I have no problem if I can figure out, the McLaughlin group, I'll put him right in there. Put a kicker in there. They're going to have a hard time scoring touchdowns with no offense on the field. Kicker. That's how you do it. Fant. I forgot. You know what? Fuck yeah. How did I forget about Fant? The best out of all these guys. He's so cheap. I think this is the nuts lineup, dude. I'm putting it in. I think I might have just won the tournament.
You just split with 80,000 other people.
And the 1,200 people that are watching this. All of us. We're going to do it together, guys.
Oh, my gosh.
We're going to do it together.
Yeah, I think if you want to get different on FanDuel, you got to play one of those lower-owned guys in the flex. Like for me, I don't mind taking some shots on Hooper again. He's sub 10%. Donovan Peoples-Jones is sub 10% owned in the flex. I definitely don't mind some shots there. And again, Rashard Higgins, if Landry isn't 100% for whatever reason, and he's not out there every snap, Rashard Higgins' role would increase. He's currently projected at 2% ownership on FanDuel.
Wait, who? Donovan Peoples?
Donovan Peoples only 8%. Rashard Higgins only 2% owned. So
at the flex?
Yep.
Yeah. So there will be ways to get some leverage. I think my sort of hot take, it's not hot at all, is, with the optimizer, you do not need to leave full salary. Let me show you let's just see what happens when I make 25 line. I just want to see what the salaries look like. But, 49.9, 49.5. So we 47.5, 48, 47. It is default. It is trying to spend the salary cap. Like, what is this one? Cortland's. Oh, this is DraftKings. No wonder. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is he spending all that salary? I'm like, I didn't even think you could. Oh, that's DraftKings. No wonder. Hold on. Let's try this again. FanDuel, and look at what's going to happen here. Yeah, I was like, wait, well, let's spend a lot of salary there. On FanDuel, if you just are making lineups, it won't spend anywhere near the full amount. I mean, look at 51, 52. It's leaving a ton of salary on the table. This is a 60K cap and it's 50,000. I've never seen it before.
That's crazy.
I've never seen this. It hasn't happened. This is you can't even come close to spending the full cap. It's leaving almost 10K on the table every time.
It's gross.
So Gremlin's asking if I need to adjust it. And the answer is no. Because it's just happening naturally. Like, you don't even need to force it. Like on FanDuel, it's not even going to allow you to do anything else. On DraftKings, I do think if you wanted to be unique and different, you can actually spend below. You can force below, but I never know where to put that number. So anyway, be really careful. It's going to be a weird one. That could mean solo takedowns. It could mean a lot of good things. So attack it voraciously. Understand that we're looking at like a pretty ugly on paper game. 2 very good defensive teams, 2 mediocre offensive teams. One side of this game has a lot of injuries. I do think it's weird. Somebody made a really interesting point that like this Broncos team was kind of favored against the Steelers, and now they're underdogs against a Browns team with no running back or quarterback. That's a little weird. And if you're looking for a bet tonight, Broncos, I don't know, but like seems obvious to play the Broncos. Maybe a little too obvious, Bobbywow.
Maybe
a little too obvious. All right. Anyway, that will do it. Yeah. Salbert. Turd. We talked about him earlier. Gross. The bigger news with Onwuegankwum out has been Fant just getting all those targets. So anyway, keep that in mind. I really do like Fant a lot as well. I want to say it a second time. Bobbywow, man, good luck on this one. This is going to be tricky. So good luck to everybody tonight. Another showdown breakdown. Let's do this thing. We want to see you guys at the top of the leaderboards. Well, hopefully I see me at the top of the leaderboards. But if it can't be me, I hope it's one of you. So good luck tonight. Until next time, deuces.